Hi Capricorn, I'm Honey Moth Tarot and today I'm going to be doing your May 2025 reading. So before we begin the reading itself, I just want to tell you a little bit about the full moon in May. Just because I feel like full moons offer us a sort of theme or kind of a guidance post, I suppose, as to what we should be aiming for each month. So this full moon will be kind of around the 12th, 13th of May, kind of depends where you are in the world. And it will be in the sign of Scorpio. So essentially that means that there is an emphasis on transformation, change, as well as more kind of social taboos, I suppose, in terms of sexuality, mystery, mysticism, secrets, that sort of thing. So cards already talking, so let's get into the read itself. Full moon in Pisces. Balancing spirituality and practicality. So I feel as though Capricorn energy is pretty practical anyway, so I feel as though you guys won't have much trouble with doing that. So I feel as though with the Scorpionic energy, Scorpio tends to be kind of a very like in-depth kind of working out shadow work, shadow self sort of energy. And so the spirituality side may be kind of pointing towards you sort of figuring out your spiritual path, where you can grow spiritually. And then also as well with Scorpio energy, there is an air of, in order to transform, we need to release whatever's weighing us down. So there may be some things that you need to release this month. Okay, so let's get into the tarot portion of the reading. I'll go with this deck. Right, Capricorn, May 2025. Capricorn. You know what, I'm going to swap this deck out for a different one. I'm just not feeling it today. Let's try this one. Okay, so what does Capricorn need to know? Capricorn. So we have the Knight of Cups. And I feel as though this is you kind of working towards being a more spiritual being. Working towards like enjoying life more rather than being so like caught up in work and the mundane. There's kind of a spiritual air to this. We have the Ace of Swords. Figuring out what's true to you. So maybe you are kind of doing some research or reading up on different religions, different philosophies, figuring out what kind of resonates with you. And I'm also seeing as well with this Ace of Swords, it may be you making contact with the divine in one way or another, or making contact with an ancestor, spiritual being, spirit guide. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, there is definitely something to do with the mundane, because the Eight of Pentacles is all about like our everyday life, the monotony, the repetitive tasks of every day. And so I'm kind of seeing that as maybe it will take you some practice in terms of getting used to embracing your spirituality, or that you need to, or spirit, God, the universe is kind of asking you to communicate more often. But yeah, there's definitely something about like addressing everyday habits and how they kind of impact your life as a whole. Okay, so anything else for Capricorn? Take this one. So we have the Seven of Swords. So I feel with the Seven of Swords, in whatever way you can, you're being asked to be more resourceful and kind of use what you already have. So I feel as though maybe if you are heading towards whatever brings you joy, whatever fills your cup, I feel like in terms of resources, there's something about using that passion and that drive within you. It's about using tools and skills that you already have within, rather than going out and buying specific tools or taking different classes. I feel as though you're a really good communicator and there's a lot of clarity in what you want. And I feel as though you are taking the day-to-day steps to reach it. I'm also picking up that the Seven of Swords could be self-sabotage. So there may be like an air about you that feels as though you haven't done enough work, or you don't have the right equipment or skill set. And so you kind of don't go towards opportunities that you're like fully capable of achieving. And then we have the Five of Swords, which is usually some sort of conflict. And I feel as though this is more of a conflict within yourself. It could be conflict in terms of wanting to go towards whatever makes you feel joy and kind of creatively fulfilled, or going towards more of a practical, mundane sort of approach. But ultimately, I feel as though if you go towards whatever feels right in your heart, because I really feel as though you have this clarity of mind here. I think there may just be like a tendency to kind of perhaps ignore your gut instinct because you are so like logical in terms of thinking, that maybe it's easier to analyze your feelings rather than actually feel your feelings as to what you should go towards. We have the King of Pentacles. So this whole reading definitely could pertain to career, or it could be about a boss, or you could be becoming a boss, or getting a promotion of some sort. Either way, feeling very financially abundant, feeling competent is the word I got. And I am also getting this King of Pentacles as being you, because, you know, Capricorn energy is earth energy, and that is what the Pentacles suit kind of pertains to. But I'm seeing like this very practical person that's got their head screwed on in terms of like knowing what they want and the steps to get there, and not just like daydreaming about what you want and kind of visualizing the sort of reality that you want, but also taking the practical steps there. What else are we seeing? But yeah, I will say, I mean, I feel as though the King of Pentacles energy kind of overrides everything else, but there are 3 swords cards, which usually indicate, you know, communication or thought, particularly being in your head about a situation, kind of questioning yourself. And so I feel as though with the King of Pentacles, there is like an emphasis to know who you are and know that you are taking the correct steps, even if it doesn't feel like it. And then I am also getting like a huge grounding energy with the King of Pentacles, so it may be worth meditating, spending time in nature, having your feet kind of on the grass, in the dirt, that sort of thing, to really connect yourself to the earth. We did get the Knight of Wands popping out. So yeah, definitely taking action. Because we have this kind of visualizing, dreaming, sort of concocting the kind of reality that you want. And then the Knight of Wands is taking those thoughts and those feelings and finally kind of bringing it into reality by creating. So we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Death card. Wow, okay. So Death card is Scorpio energy, so I do feel as though the Scorpio full moon might be quite pivotal for you. And then the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, so there is this like air of momentum towards the end of the reading. I feel like, so I got the word culmination of results. So I feel like maybe there is like one main goal, one main achievement that you're kind of striving towards. And I see that you are working on that, but I feel before you reach this main goal, there's going to be like little signs of achievement, or kind of little signs from the divine that you're on the right path. So I feel like that could be... I specifically got feathers. So yeah, you could be seeing like feathers or birds. But in terms of real life, that could be like a well done from your boss, or a close friend telling you that they're proud of you. A radio interview is what I got as well. And then finally we have the Death card, which is deep transformation. So I feel as though with that transformation card, we go from being unsure whether to follow our heart or follow a more practical approach. And then I think through clarity, you're kind of walking a fine line between spirituality and practicality. Taking consistent action towards whatever kind of fuels that fire within. And I feel as though the transformation that occurs is no longer relying on just using your head or your clarity of mind, or intellectualizing your feelings. I feel as though you're walking that fine line between focusing on what's going to bring you abundance and practicality, but also combining that with following your intuition and following what is going to be kind of creatively fulfilling for you. Okay, so last but not least, I'm going to get a card from the Divine Guidance deck. But yeah, Capricorn, I feel as though this is a really kind of uplifting reading. And I do hope that it offered some sort of encouragement or motivation, at least if you haven't been feeling like you've been seeing the results that you wanted to. Thank you. So this is the opening card, which is really interesting because it kind of talks about your intuition being more open to different messages and different information. So yeah, I feel as though with like the swords energy that I was talking about, there is definitely something about information, writing, and then I also did mention earlier about receiving messages from the divine. So I feel as though like with this kind of focus on your joy, your creativity, your intuition, I feel it might also bring about some sort of untapped psychic connection. So if you are kind of feeling that, or you've been getting these kind of like hints and nudges from the universe, maybe keep like a little diary or a journal just to sort of write down whatever messages, and then you can kind of analyze and see what you come up with. All right, Capricorn, thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye.